Hey guys, it's Jan, and I wanted to do another video for Super FM. As you may well know, Super FM likes to break, and something else broke on this car again, and I'd like to cover it and fix it. So for now, I'll let you hear what happened. Basically, what happened to the car. Sure, you can hear that. Propeller shaft seems to be loose or something, so I already know what happened. We'll take it off and then you can see what happened. Looks like the gear cover on the back was cracked, basically taking away the piece that's actually covering the gears. So now what we're gonna do is gonna do a little bit of a maintenance and repair guide on how to replace that specifically. That's the first thing that I'm gonna do. I'm going to try and repair the rear gear cover and change the way that it's mounted. Right now, with the way that it's mounted, I have to cut this piece right here. I have to cut this piece, and when I do that, it weakens the whole mount. So I'm actually going to change the way that it's mounted. I'm going to mount it the way that this other car is done, wherein I leave the gear cover basically intact and then just drill through it like this car. So I'm gonna build it like this so that it's stronger and then it lasts a little bit longer in between, like you know, long periods of time rather than just like, you know, it breaking too soon. So we're gonna do that, and I'm actually gonna change out the crown gears too, because I noticed that when I was checking this car earlier, the crown gears seem to have some wear already. They've already like some of the teeth have already like bent upwards or outwards, stuff like that. I'm gonna replace the crown gears on this side and on the other side as well. And I'm also gonna switch out the screws, because once I actually change out the way that it's mounted, I'm gonna have to move that piece the way that it's mounted. Instead of it being flush to the gear cover, it's gonna have to be mounted a little bit higher. And in order to be able to make room for that, I'm just gonna have to use different screws. So I'm gonna switch out the screws for that. And then also, instead of the hard springs that I have on right now, the silver springs, I'm actually gonna switch to the black springs so that it's a little softer. I've noticed that like when I actually tighten the lock nuts down, it's a little too tight and then it's a little too much, so I'm actually going to switch out to these ones, and I think these are going to be better for what I'm trying to do. And lastly, it looks like the propeller shaft, the pinions on the propeller shaft have gotten loose again, so I'm going to change the way that it's mounted. Actually, I don't think I'd cover this on any other Super FM video yet, so I'm going to tighten the way that the pinion gears are like mounted on the propeller shaft so that they don't come loose over time like as quickly. So it should bite longer so that they don't come apart and then you lose some power when you're doing something like that. Okay, and we're gonna do that soon. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take the cover off and see what happened under here. Actually got one of these tools, the Tamiya, I think, I don't know what it's exactly called. It gives you the hex mount from this side and this side. It allows you to work on normal nuts and lock nuts. Yes, obligatory nut joke or pun here. I found this has been like very useful. Makes my life a whole lot easier when I'm mounting screws and like tightening them down using the nuts. So I'm gonna take this cover off and see what we got going on the gear cover. In case people didn't quite understand it, this is how I mount the springs. See, there's a gray piece right here, and that gray piece basically holds the spring in place whenever I'm using it. So we're gonna go take that gray piece out right now and then put it on the black springs. That's the way that I use it. It's my cheap way of actually replacing the spring caps. Okay, so let's remove and see what happened to the gear cover. Yeah, you can see the gear cover is already like missing on this side, so I think what happened is that it had cracked and then it just gotten loose over time. And I had some kids playing with it yesterday, so that may have like aggravated the issue and like taken it off. I hope that I can still remove the gear cover, because sometimes the screw gets stuck there. Hopefully I could remove it without like having to actually break everything apart. Okay, so now the first thing that I'm going to loosen is the center pieces right here. I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, now we're gonna remove this plate right here that's holding the brakes. We may have to remove the brakes first. As far as I can see, it looks. There you go. The brakes are out. Now I'm gonna take the plate off, and then we will work on removing the gear cover, the support on the gear cover, and replacing it. Okay, now I have the back removed. Looks like I had some more spacers under there. Some spacers, some washers. So I'm gonna put that back. I'm gonna need those again later when I remount the piece. So that should loosen the screws that I used to connect the plate to the support plate, basically. Take that off, pull this off as well. Take this piece, and take that piece too. So it's likely the space between here and here are going to change later, so I'll have to figure out the new way that I'm going to mount the screws, or the new spacer that I'm going to be using. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the support plate. Feels like it ended up becoming kind of loose over time, so let's see if we can still remove it. Sometimes the screw here won't actually loosen up, so I'll actually have to ruin the gear cover just to be able to get to it, but hopefully that won't be the case. Okay, here you go. Luckily it didn't jam, so I could take it off easily. Won't have to redo anything. I'll just have to replace this with a new one. We'll go ahead and drill a new one for this video, so that you can see how to, in case you've forgotten how to make it. We'll create a new one this time around. So I'll have to remove the bottom plate. There you go. Now I'll take the gear cover off. As you can see, this is the shattered piece. The piece that got left behind here, that's supposed to be here on this side, is just gone, because I have to trim the gear cover off from before the way that I used to do it. So now I'm going to change it and just use this piece, basically complete, except I'm going to drill through the same spots as before. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I need to remount it and see what happens, and see if I need to replace anything else before that, and it looks like I need to. There's a couple of things that I can see have been used up, need to replace. Looks like this pinion gear is not only out of position, basically it's moved out of position, it also has some cracks, or some of the teeth have been like eaten through with this crown gear. Looks like this crown gear is mostly okay, but I'm going to replace it anyway. Yes, some pieces of the plastic are, when it shattered, left on the crown gear. And then I'm going to replace the crown gear here on this side as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead first and replace the pinion gear on this side. This side looks like it's bad, but this side looks like it's still good. Yeah, it just moved out of place, and I'll show you how to reprocess everything so that it'll be a stronger propeller shaft, wherein the gears won't like slide out towards the other side, or this side would do the same thing. Okay, so I found a replacement pinion gear for this side. It'll be carbon just like the other one. The only difference now is that it's not, the teeth haven't been chewed through by the other gears. And the way that I like to remove the pinion gears is, you know, with the use of this thing right here. It's kind of pricey. I don't remember how much. I just remember it was kind of expensive when I first bought it. And I still feel like this is the best way to remove the pinion gear from any, like from the motors or from the Super FM shaft, just because it'll make it easier for you. You just twist it, or you just pull it off. I mean, I feel like sometimes it doesn't matter, but I like to do it this way. I'm gonna remove the other side too. See if we can do that, because we need to change the basically make it so that the pinion gears are not gonna move from the spot once I've actually left them, pushed them into place. Let's get that out. Okay, so these are the two that we're gonna use again, and right now I'm gonna just wipe off the shaft. In order for me to actually secure the pinion gear better, the way that I like to do it is by taking an X-Acto knife and then scoring the edges of the the shaft. Basically the part of the tip that'll actually go into the pinion gear, basically through here. So by doing that, what I like to do is make horizontal cuts basically onto the metal, so that the pinion gear will have some extra surface area that it will grab onto, preventing it from sliding from its position outward and then ultimately getting loose. And if it starts getting loose, well, you're gonna lose power. In addition to that, it gets noisier. The more noisy it is, the more friction it has, and that's just a whole lot of stuff that you don't want to deal with. So I just make cuts like this and then roll it around. It's gonna be tough to see on the video because it's definitely a lot easier to see in person. So I'm just making cuts, not necessarily big cuts, but like surface basically deformities on the shaft itself. So now that's done, we're gonna fit the propeller shaft back into place. Let's see if we could actually pop everything back to where it used to be. I'm gonna hammer that back. Something. Let's use something as a hammer. Okay, so this one's flush, this one's flat, This one isn't yet. This one's very close to the surface. So I'm gonna see how it fits first before I put everything back into position. And clean where it's supposed to go first and see how it feels. I want it to be tight but not too tight wherein it won't move on its own. Okay, that's very close. Kinda want to tighten it a little bit more so that the transfer power is a lot smoother. Yeah. So a little bit more, I think. I'm gonna hammer that side a little bit more. Where is this? Right here. Okay, so that looks good now. I'm gonna replace the crown gears now. Just take this off and work on the crown gears next. So this part is simple enough. I'm just gonna replace the crown gears on this side and on that side, just so that I could replace them. It looks like some of their teeth have been gnawed through by the other gear, or vice versa. Looks like I had some dust in there too, so I'm gonna clear that up. Okay, take this off. I actually switched to AO620 gears since the last video. AO620 is just so much better than the hex hole. It gives you so much more, has so much less friction basically. The suspension becomes so much smoother. I'm gonna go clean the wrap down the shaft. Okay, the crown gear is on this one now. Let's see. It spins pretty well. Now we're gonna check this side. I think I might need to replace one of the shafts on this car. Looks like the shaft isn't straight on this side. Basically, it looks like there's a bend on this side of the chassis. Not the chassis, but like the drive shaft. So I'm gonna go look for a replacement shaft and see if I could put it through. Oops. Okay, so now I've replaced the other shaft here too, so that it's a lot straighter. Let me check it again, remove it. Yeah, the shaft on the front is a little bit better now. There's still a slight bend on it, but I don't know if I could find a really straight shaft to replace that. So I'm gonna have to live with it. I'm gonna put this back in and do like a test run just to see what it sounds like. If it sounds better than before, then we'll continue on. If there's no change, then there might be something else wrong with the gears. So where did my motor case go? Right here. I've already oiled the gears, so now I'm gonna oil this one. I don't think I've actually cleaned it out yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Tighten this up. Put it back onto the chassis. And then run some batteries through just to see what it sounds like. Got a Hyper Dash 3 in there, so if you guys remember what it sounded like earlier, we'll find out if what I did actually made any difference. It should be, because the shaft isn't super tight anymore. Looks like it sounds a lot better than before. It's not perfect, but it's working. It's a lot more quiet than it used to be. Okay. Take those batteries off, and then we're going to continue on and work on the new replacement gear cover. We'll put that on, and then we'll drill through it. So to make a new gear cover, I actually need to remount everything so that the fit on the new one will match the way that it used to be on the way that I had it before. So in order for me to do that, I have to put this back on and then mount this piece on it, tighten it down, and then also before that I actually need to mount this here. So first I'm going to mount this onto the chassis itself first. Okay, now we are going to reconnect this piece and this piece, except we're going to mount it upwards like this over here for now. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. This way. So at the moment I noticed that I have some sharp edges over here. So what I'm going to do is just like file it down so that there's less sharp edges on the plate itself. Okay, that's done. We're gonna mount it back onto the other chassis. Okay, so now that we've secured this, we're gonna mount this back and re-drill through the holes. And I'm gonna go ahead and secure this plate in place so that it doesn't move. I'm gonna stand and make sure that that gets done properly. So right now, before I actually tighten it down, just to make sure, I'm just gonna make sure that everything's straight before I drill in. That's correct. So again, I'm gonna point out to you which of the holes that I'm gonna be needing to drill through. This one and this one. So we're gonna drill through these two holes. This one and this one again. Okay. Time to put on the safety glasses. Always put them on. It's always gonna be safer for you if you don't lose an eye. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. Find out if I drilled straight or not. Should be okay. Okay. There you go. I've drilled the holes through. Now I'm gonna clean that up and see what else we need to do. Because I don't think I'll be able to mount the spacer just as it stands directly onto it. Unless it lets me, I'm gonna see how it fits. I'm gonna put the screws in first and see how it looks like. Okay, so I've cleaned up the gear cover. Now I'm gonna drive the screws through it and you know, give it a test fit and see how it goes through. But before that, never forget to put the glue in on this side, basically, because you want that one to stay in place. And also we're gonna have to file it down later on after we actually secure the screw, to make sure that it doesn't hit the gear over here. You'll have to file it down. Okay, good. It's not straight, but it'll be fine. Okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and test fit the spacers that I was planning on putting in. It looks like it's gonna be okay. Except the glue is getting in a bit of a issue. It's not perfect, but I think it'll be okay. We'll use it anyway. Alright. Okay. So this is the finished gear cover. The glue has dried on the bottom, and I've already filed the screw head so that they won't interfere with the gear. So now we're gonna go test out and see what it sounds like. Let's put it in and turn the car on and see what it sounds like. Definitely don't want to have to tie everything down before you see before you start the car on and then find out that the gears are actually still grinding. So we're gonna get some batteries. Take the batteries off of my MS chassis and use them for this. These are actually the Panasonic loop lights. I might be doing a video about them in the future, so stay tuned. I already have some opinions about them, but I'll let you watch the video later on with after I finish it for you to see what I'm talking about. That's good. No grinding. There you go. Working just nicely. Now we can tighten this down and continue on with the rest of the project. Okay, so that's 6 spacers. Let's see what we need to do. Where is it? Right here. Now what we want to do is we want to change the way that it's mounted, because this is going to go on top this time. It's not going to go under this plate, so it looks like it's not quite flat on this side, so we're going to change the amount of spacing that we're going to put in. Okay, let's take all of these out and see if I could put in the normal, like 3mm spacer, or 1.5 millimeter spacer. Okay, see if that's enough space that I will need to be able to run it through. Okay, that's about right. Yeah, that looks good. I just need to figure out the spacing that I'm gonna need for the gap over here on the bottom. Okay, it looks like I found the right spacer that I'm gonna need to replace the gap from here to here, because the fit is not different. The spacer that you need is the one that has like a bevel in the middle. The one that's a little bit taller than let's see, the one that I have here. So it's basically, there's 2 of them, or you could just use 2 of the ones over here that I have like that. So I'm gonna mount it on like bevel side down. Then I'm gonna run the screws through so that there's a way to mount it and secure it in the middle. Looks like it's flat. So that's good. I guessed correctly. Now we're gonna put this here to tie it all in. Alright. Just gonna give it a quick look to see how flat it is. Alright. Before I do that, I need to screw this in place. Okay, looks good. Let's test out the battery, see what it sounds like. Okay, good. Almost done. Okay, there you have it. It's done. Now let's see what it does on the track. As you can see, now I have my own track at home in my backyard. I don't have any slopes yet, so at some point when I do that, I'll show you guys, maybe like do an unboxing if I do get one. But I have a bank section, like 2 chicanes, and then quite a bit of straights. This isn't actually all of the track, but I have quite a bit of it. So let's test out the car. Right now, the track is just basically a relatively high speed track with no cover on the bridge. So let's see what it does after it's been fixed. Oh, it's too fast. Yeah, okay, it looks like the wheel bushing on one of my wheels has already loosened up so much. So if you look at it closely, one of them is off color. This one's white now. So I need to go get some more of the black ones if I need to make it match again, but we'll do that at some other time. So I don't know if anybody knows this. There's actually like a lap timer app. Since I don't have one right now, I'll have to try and do it this way. Okay. So I'm gonna go click start. Just waiting for car to pass. Okay, test this way. Ooh. Wow, it doesn't want to stay down. It gets loose again. Okay, third time's a charm. I think the hyper dash was just too much for this. So we're gonna go ahead and start the timer again. So that should have triggered the timer. Let's see how many seconds. Let's see if we can focus. Okay, looks like it was 18 seconds. It's kind of slow. That's fine as long as it works. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Please like and subscribe. jacket style down. Oh, calm down. Shh. Stop. You tired? Huh? Look over here. Come on. Look over here. You tired? Good exercise for you, Jax. Good exercise for you, huh? Huh? You want that car? You want that car? Huh?